This is a very short introduction, so pay close attention. Everyone loves a good story. Tell me a story. Sharon.
Fellow Toastmasters, when I joined Toastmasters 9 years ago, I thought I was going to be learning about how to give speeches. And within those speeches, I figured they were going to be very rigid and I was going to have to follow certain protocol and I was going to have to talk about things that I didn't want to talk about and listen to speeches that may not be very interesting because they were required speeches, but as a club and Toastmasters, we had to learn how to give these speeches. Boy, was I wrong. Getting to this club and listening to people's speeches was wonderful. It was amazing to me because I used to be the type of person who would sit in an airport or in the school cafeteria and just sit there and watch people and try and figure out what's their story. A lot of times we think somebody's story is one way, but then when we talk to them or get to know them, their story is completely different. And then I found out at Toastmasters, we get to hear people's stories. And I have realized that when the story is so compelling, if I am in one of the evaluation roles, I get lost in the story and totally blow that role. Totally blow it. In fact, now in the advanced clubs, there's one rule that you have to listen and evaluate just what you've heard. I've known people to turn around and not look at the speaker just so they can hear what they're saying rather than watch their movements. The advanced clubs are very interesting in that way because there's a 4-part evaluation. And if you want to know more about that, just let me know. But getting back to these stories, one of my favorite speeches is icebreakers. Jordan, I learned so much more about you tonight from you sharing in your speech about that. Thank you so much. Elizabeth, I am forever going to take your icebreaker and remember that you looked at this picture in the magazine and then there you saw it many years later. All of you have told me a story and it has been amazing to get to know you. And then there's other clubs. And I'm a little crazy, I know. I have just joined my 4th Toastmaster club. But it allows me to hear everybody's story. They think that I'm doing it just to either help the district because we need more members in more clubs. But I'm also doing it for myself. I get to hear other people's stories. When we go to convention, most of the humorous speeches, table topics, and international speeches all have stories woven in them. When I listen to professional speakers and I resonate with them, I realize that the ones that I'm resonating with are the ones that are including stories. It can be a story about themselves, it can be a story about somebody else, but there's just something about storytelling that really makes it click with me. I know in some cultures, story is how they get generations to understand their culture. And the Native Americans' story is very huge. We had one of our Toastmasters who was Native American pass away a little while ago, and some fellow Toastmasters went to his service. And they said, when I saw them a week later, that the service may still be going on. Because they had so many warm stories about this individual and about what they meant, what he meant to their in their lives. Another part about stories is it just fills us with great knowledge about other people and allows us to look outside of ourselves and think, I've never been in a situation like that. How would I handle that? And allow us to go within. I've never been one to be a reader, and so the verbal stories is what I have found love. I have been known to be listening to audio tapes because I do a lot of driving, and to forget to turn because I am so engrossed in this story. So therefore, there's only certain things that I will listen to now on audio in the car. I'll listen to stories other times, but I have to focus. I can get lost in your story. Fellow Toastmasters, thank you for sharing your stories. Tell me another story.